I don't have the energy for you today.
Never thought of energy as something you...
I don't have the energy for you today.
Never thought of energy as something...
All right, guys, welcome back to what is this, episode 5 of the Ordinary Gains podcast. I'm your host, the Dumble whose door is always open. The the other half to the Shiro and E.G.O team. I am Left Eye E.G.O, and today we've also got the wonderful, the talented, the new to Twitter, the Shiro. How are you doing, honey?
I'm doing good. Today has been a day.
Go on. It has been kind of a day.
Well, he likes me to look ghostly, so we're figuring out our lighting because, you know, he's a little dark, I'm a little pale.
It's ebony and ivory, the lighting scales.
It's been a day. We've had to do things together that we don't like to do together.
At all. No.
We know it. We've known it from the beginning.
That's true. And it kind of, we're going to get into that too. We're going to talk about mainly the problems we had with even just getting you on Twitter. They were all her problems. There was the issue of her being sick the last few weeks and how we actually treat each other when we're sick versus when we got to take care of somebody that's sick. We've actually found the clip for when we got married 2 years ago. You know, here you'll actually see her respond to when I first named her Shiro. I'm not going to ever let her live that down. And we're going to talk about some of my hearing loss here. And I guess the inadvertent comedy of errors that will bring up. But before we get to that, we'll just address a few people in the chat. Got Miss Kinolly Sasquatch. Hello. Miss Kinolly Sasquatch, say, let's go.
Oh, to the cannolis. We have a
product placement.
We're super excited. I'm loving my AirPod case. It's awesome.
Very good. I need to get one. I need to get another one. So she's got one in black. I'm probably going to get one in gray or black. And we got Mr. Zach's Left Eye and Shiro. Hail. Good, sir. Checked in on your chat yesterday. That was actually really good, what you guys had with Abomination AJ, Dawn of the Phoenix as well. That was fantastic. All right. So we'll go ahead and just address the chat as people come in. But we're just going to go ahead and talk about the bows we threw on getting Mrs. Shiro set up for Twitter. So I will say first, she uncapped. She uncapped.
Why is my business?
You uncapped it right over the CPU, man. You know how clumsy these dogs are.
I can see on my left side. I'm not going to knock it over.
This is why bows were thrown, ladies and gentlemen, right here. I cannot. Anyway, I told her, I said, hey, since you're on Mrs. Canoli Sasquatch's stream on Friday, you're getting popular and people want to see more of you. Let's get you a Twitter. I want to get a Twitter. Honey, you should really get a Twitter. That way you can cross-platform, post, and people would see you. Okay, whatever. So she tried this yesterday. She tried 3 times. I've never seen someone get locked out of an account they don't have, first of all.
No, okay, listen.
What?
I went the, sign up with your Google account route, and I got through everything, and then it wants to verify you, which is great. It sends a little code to my phone, type it in. It says, error, I can't do this right now. And I was like, well, okay. So I tried it multiple ways, and every time, same situation. So you have to block your light for me.
Wow, I'm your shadow now?
Yes.
Wow, during Black History Month. How dare you? Wow, she said Black Shadow. Wow.
I have no other options right now.
Goodness gracious, go on.
And so anyways, I said, will you help me today, do this Twitter thing? And so he's like, yeah, I'll do it. And then he doesn't tell me how to do it. he just like takes over everything and then like makes the assumption that I'm this idiot who doesn't know how to work a computer or that I'm 80 and don't know how to click in an app. Like, this is what I do for a living. I train people how to use apps.
She knows how to code. We'll say that you know how to code. You train people with apps, and your IQ is 132. However, when it came to Twitter, she's like, "Huh? I don't. What is this? I don't know. What am I supposed to do?" So that when your spouse makes the face of "this is annoying me," do it and finish it for me. So that's what I went straight into fix it mode. I said, "Hey," well, I actually didn't say. I started half the time. I don't know either, so I just start clicking buttons, and she's like,
"That's the thing. He doesn't fucking know." And I know where I'm supposed to go. It's just asking me for a password that I never created because I signed in with Google.
So I'm like, while she thinks I'm confident here, I'm gonna Google this shit. How to get back account on Twitter. I said, honey, we're gonna do this. What we're gonna do. Let's go to forgot password. All right, we're gonna enter that. Now we gotta make sure we're gonna get it. Is a text message or an email? You want a text message? Okay, let's do it. There, see, it's done. And she's like, "Do you train people?" I was like,
"No, all he did was click forgot password."
You didn't know how to do it. So I
did know how to do it. What I was describing to you was that I never had to enter a password, so it should be my Gmail password.
Right.
And then instead of just saying, okay, you moved me out of the way to do some bullshit.
You said we were late for brunch, ma'am. Okay, and you were hungry. And I know you got between like 3 to 5 minutes before you ultimately give up on the whole thing. All right. So I went into fix it for you mode. And then yesterday, I knew when you were doing the stream with Mrs. Cannoli Sasquatch, I even saw Mr. Cannoli Sasquatch hanging over. I was like, hey, all you have to do is sit there and be the pretty, beautiful person we know you to be. Right? Just it's okay. We'll set it all up for you. All I got to do is sit there and be gorgeous and pretty. And that wasn't enough for you.
Okay, I'm just asking, how many episodes you done with AJ?
42.
Okay, how come you don't know where to put your avatar up at? And I do.
That's because I have two. That's why. And one is off center.
They're all in the same place, honey.
One's off center.
All in the same place.
No. The one that the one that you saw on there was off center. That's what happened. So anyway, I was. Hold on one second. Yes, I was trying to be the man. I was. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I was letting you live in your masculine energy. Oh, shit.
Anyway, so now she goes from not knowing how to get her actual account set up to now she's cross-platform posting about today's show. So we eventually got over it. It's just we figured out. She says I'm not good at training people, but I'm like, well, if I'm training you, if you do what I do and just watch what I did, I don't really have to say much if you can watch it. With that photographic memory you got, ma'am, that you say you have. I mean,
well, that's how I knew where to put the avatar.
You're not gonna let that go, are you?
No, okay. I think it's ridiculous.
You're ridiculous in your
How
face.
can I let you treat me like I'm the dumbest person in the world using a computer? Yet you don't remember where to put your avatar.
Because you put your trust in me, honey. That's the funny thing. I was like, wow. I was like, my astigmatism is so bad I can't see the line for the actual divider. And she's just here just driving, letting me drive. Just, wow, she is so brave sometimes. So got some more people. Hey, Mrs. Catania, how are you doing? We got them here as well. And, but yeah, so that's essentially where we were with our coming to blows today. I still love you, though.
Yeah.
So that brings us to, how were things the last 2 weeks, honey? How were you?
I was very sick the last 2 weeks. I had strep throat. Came home from my trip from Philly, and immediately, like the next day, I think, I was down and out. I slept for the whole weekend, and then I decided I felt better.
Better?
Yeah.
There we go.
And of course, I went to volleyball practice and covered for another coach, so I spent 6 hours the next 2 days yelling at little kids. And
She enjoys that. Oh, back to a ghost. Sorry. Go ahead.
and then I lost my voice completely. And then the next week, and I was like, oh, I'm still so sick. And I finally went and got a checkup and found out I had strep throat and had to take a bunch of medication.
Yes.
It was awesome.
So then we figured out what kind of people we are first when the other person is sick. Now, because I'm a doctor, when it comes to these, I go into doctor mode. Like, hey, go lay down, fluids, and rest. And I can't tell you how much NyQuil you need. So here, take it all. Okay?
Okay, this
What?
man drugs people.
What?
The first time he ever handed me NyQuil, he like doubled the dose. And I didn't realize it. I wasn't feeling well. He hands it to me, I pop it, and then I'm out for like 13 hours. And I was like, what happened, honey? He was like, oh, I gave you 4 NyQuil.
No, it was 2. It was 2. It was 2. I didn't give you 4. I gave you 2. It was 2. Gave her 2. 4. You're not supposed to have 4 within 24. So I gave her 2, guys. So didn't chloroform me with the other 2. She took 2 because this is how I know. Now, when Shiro gets sick, the person Shiro is, I'm fine. I'm gonna go. I thought we had a date tonight for axe throwing. If you watch 90 Day Fiance, it starts out really gravelly, but then she turns into Angie from 90 Day Fiance. Michael, I know you're with them other bitches. Adela, what do you mean? I am not with any other bitches. If you watch 90 Day Fiance,
Michael, you better not be on that Instagram.
that's who she sounds like when she's sick. And so when you hear that voice saying, I thought we were going on our date tonight, I have to shut everything down. And the thing is, she doesn't believe that she's that sick, so I have to give her medication so that she goes to sleep. Because if she's awake, she starts walking around, trying to go places. I feel perfectly fine. You know, I was on the Instagram, and then I said, your voice is not clear yet. Go lay down. Go sit down. She turns into a 5-year-old that says she's not sick. She wants to go outside and play with all of her friends.
I want to be where the people are.
Exactly. And that's why she needs to go lay down. So I deal with this for 2 weeks, guys. And I will say in that mode, I was like, hey, you okay? Uh-huh. Okay, do you want anything to eat? Okay. What would you like? I want tomato soup and grilled cheese. 5-year-old, straight up. I'm like, you know what? We don't have any soup. We haven't had any for months. I'm gonna go run in 25 to 30 degree weather. I'm gonna go get you some soup, and I'm gonna go make you some grilled cheese. Really? We don't have bread or cheese? Okay, I'll go run and get that. Fine. Oh, you want butter on both sides? Oh, and double cheese? Okay, you know what? I'll do
who
that.
makes grilled cheese with 1 slice of cheese?
Normal people.
No.
Normal people.
There's no way.
I have never heard
I feel
anyone
like we
have 2
should
slices
ask the chat, like, if you make a grilled cheese, do you use more than 1 slice of cheese? Like,
that's actually, yes, that's fine. That's a poll. Please let us know if you make a grilled cheese sandwich. Do you do it with 1 slice of cheese or 2? I'm with the regular people. You make 1 slice of cheese, 2 slices of bread. It works perfectly because you dip it in the soup. You can't even
taste the cheese if you only use 1.
It's supposed to blend because it's a little bit toasty on the ends, soft in the middle. And that's what the cheese is.
Okay, this is why I cook.
Why, sir? Why, bro? We just talked about having bro code as a segment. You couldn't obey the bro code and just be like, I'm with my man's.
See, like
E.G.O on
Jana,
one
more
slice.
than 1. AJ, more than 1.
Y'all are weird. 2 slices? Who does 2 slices?
Everybody likes flavor in their food, honey. You the one who put shrimp and rice in a rice cooker and call it
on the
food.
play. Habitual no. Flag on the play. Habitual line stepping.
Habitual line stepping.
You have to do that on me on live camera. Habitual line stepping. That's no.
I'm just
won't
saying,
be tolerated.
Your palate is not great. Like, you like everything, which is awesome for me, but it's not great, honey.
I am not a cheese hater. All I'm saying is everyone knows the ratio is 2 slices of bread to 1 slice of cheese. That there's anything the Kraft cheese commercials have shown us, that's the bread to cheese ratio.
Kraft cheese You think they show you less ratio than the bread when their brand is about cheese.
You know what? Why are you challenging me today? Deny your challenges, ma'am.
I would just like to understand your argument.
Like, and you don't want to double up on cheese because then it's too gooey.
No,
And then
that's the
it's-
whole point of the grilled cheese, honey.
No, you're supposed to sop it. You have to sop it up when you dip it in the soup.
The bread doesn't change.
It does. It
And
does.
yes,
Definitely does.
Kraft is shit.
Okay, you know what? You guys are awful right now. We're not going to agree on this one. Everyone knows that I'm right. I will not back down from
I
this.
just don't understand why you think you're right when no one has agreed with you yet.
Because I'm in
Not one person.
I'm in an alternate multiverse where everyone thinks that they're
Oh,
right.
what's that thing y'all were talking about yesterday where it wasn't a part of the universe? You're that thing.
Why you're
What
gonna
is it
bring up the
called?
thing with the beef that I had with Don about
Yes.
about
You
the
refuse?
Elseworlds?
Yeah, elsewhere. You see, you're in the Elseworld. There you go.
I'm in. Everyone else is in the Elseworlds. You're in the Elseworlds. You have a stamp over your forehead that says E on it for Elseworlds. I concede nothing. Anyway, so yes, I found out that is her. For 2 weeks, I'm taking care of her. Just it's I bedside manner. Are you okay?
He even pulled a little chair up next to the bed to eat dinner with me. It was great.
Right. So I will tell you about the one time that I got sick around her 3.5 years ago. Number one, I know what kind of person I am when I'm sick. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. Don't come in here unless you got food. Don't even sleep in this bed with me because what I have will decimate a population. And I'm handling it with my own immune system, right? So I only want 2 things. Pop-Tarts, soup. That's it. Maybe some Gatorade to flush it down. That's it. Okay? This love of my life, this person right here, is not made to take care of sick individuals.
That is not true.
Ma'am.
I clearly came into this relationship and you said, when I'm sick, leave me alone.
Right.
You got what you asked for. I don't understand.
But I also wanted to eat something.
You said leave you alone. I got you a Gatorade.
Ma'am, I needed food. I needed sustenance. You let it get Game of Thrones in my apartment without anything to eat. I had to drive myself with the flu to a convenience store to get soup and Pop-Tarts.
I didn't know you needed that because you did not express it to me. You said leave you alone.
That was the only words I could muster at that time. So it's no surprise that since then I haven't really allowed myself to get sick.
And I tried to help. As you got better, I thought that he needed some fresh air. So because that's what I do when I'm sick. You sleep a lot and then you go sweat it out.
You could have let me just sit someplace and turn the heat up, ma'am.
No, you have to move.
I'll take steps in place. You took me outside. It was like 25 degrees outside, and I was shaking.
It was not 25 out. It was
that's
like
what
70.
I remember it was.
And we literally just took Molly for a walk.
It was awful, y'all. Absolutely awful. So yes, I do contend and say that, hey, leave me alone. I'll be fine if you don't have the dogs in here, don't have no one in here, no one sleep in here, but it still doesn't clean the fact that she gets in the bed and she's that close. I was like, apparently you must want to catch this deadly illness that will decimate populations, and only I have the antibodies that will cure this. I really go into that mode. So chat also, I don't know if you guys have already said it already, but let us know if you are the caretaker or the what's the other word for it?
By the way, Vampire, he doesn't get the s'mores Pop-Tarts. He gets the strawberry ones.
No, I don't. No, I get the maple ones.
I've seen you get the strawberry ones.
That was boring. That was boring at that point if I got strawberry.
Okay.
I usually go with the cinnamon ones. Yes, because they have it's a even flavor the entire way through. called me a basic bitch for Pop-Tarts.
I mean,
wow. Anyway, so anything else you wanted to add to that now that we know who when it comes to
I
being
feel
sick?
like I will say I feel like I've gotten better.
You have. You okay. I will say
Like
you
I
have.
made sure you had Pop-Tarts last time.
Okay.
And chicken noodle soup.
Okay. Everyone's just giving me all the smoke for the cheese. Keep going, my love.
I mean, I don't know. Look, before you, every time I got sick, I did my best to snuggle my significant other so it would leave my body and go to them.
So selfish. Do you mind if I say what you tried to do when I am sick?
Oh, sure.
Like
what do I do?
You try to have sex with me like that day.
When you're sick?
Yeah.
No,
when
sick.
you're
Yes,
sick. Yeah, when you're
because
sick.
I want it to leave my body and go to you.
That's literally the plot from a movie, a scary movie.
Is it really?
Yes. It follows.
Yes.
But I don't get sick though.
Yeah,
So,
knock on wood, he has not gotten sick.
But the thing is, whatchamacallit, I will say this. I'm not the best person to not get sick when everyone else is getting sick. Like I'm kind of terrible for a few days. I'm like, if you didn't have this pure blood in you, you will be able to fight this off. I was like, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? When we have our children, I will pass down my immunity. They will be strong.
As a baby, you couldn't eat eggs. You were allergic to dairy.
No,
you couldn't do anything, right? Didn't they put you in a bubble? What happened?
I was on a nebulizer.
I'm sorry, honey.
Are you? You laugh pretty fast.
Look at you now, though. Strong, healthy.
Oh man. Anyway, yes. Whatchamacallit. So I will say that I'm not technically the most humble person. I'm not the most humble person when someone else is sick and I don't get sick. Barring that, I will say I didn't get sick at all of last year. Like I was just.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, I was acting.
I've gotten sick multiple times.
You have, but I will say this: the only part of the reason I say is because Shiro travels to work at least quarterly, right?
Yeah.
And then you coach children.
Yes.
So
oh my God, those little germ trash cans.
Yes, between being with germ trash can children and being in a petri dish of an airplane, it's bound to happen. I usually deal with one population of patients that I deal with, and I usually come home, and that's really it.
Yeah.
And unless I'm with Abomination AJ and his wife, like I'm not really going anywhere. So I gave her grace on that. I was not a bubble boy. I was allergic to eggs as a child, okay? And apparently grass at some point. So I had bad asthma, so I had to be on a nebulizer. So
didn't you have eczema too?
Wow, I'm just
wondering. We need to know what our child might be in for.
Yeah, I had eczema,
I don't think our child's gonna survive.
Better. Survival is the only thing tolerated in the E.G.O household. So, but yes, I was, and then I played football, and then most of my allergies went away. So.
Oh, so your parents let you play in the dirt then?
I mean, I was 15 at that point, so they said you should make some friends.
They said, go out into the world.
Yes. Then I had to take allergy shots until I was 12 or 13.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, but it was like, I don't really, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like I was skinny Steve Rogers from the first Captain America. Yeah, and doing Bible quizzes. So you can imagine what that life was like. You're never.
You are a Bible mathlete. I love it.
Okay.
You were like a state champion, right?
Possibly. 6th in the state, yes.
6th, and that's really good, honey.
It was. It's, one day I have to take you to a junior Bible quiz tournament.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Wonder how the game has changed since I went away.
The game has changed.
I don't know. I mean, maybe.
You think they have to do so not only answer questions, but do a mime off or something?
What?
What?
It wasn't. It was merely academic. I don't think they added anything.
I feel like there should be events now.
There was the event. You just like it's a book with like it's a book of like maybe 50 pages worth of questions from the Old Testament and New Testament. There's only about maybe 350. And so they just rotate those 350 questions over 8 hours for all the tournaments.
So all you have to do is memorize them? I would have smoked your butt.
Well, no, because it's like you'd have to if someone says like what is and you click, well then what is what? You have to finish the quotation, then have the right answer.
Yeah, I
So
get
you can be
that.
wrong. You think you could smoke me on the Bible?
If it's out of a bank, hold on, listen. If it's out of a bank of 350 questions that I know ahead of time, I'm just gonna memorize them.
Wow, sir.
He was a little chunky, so
I was husky. It's not.
Oh my god. What you mad about, honey? You praised the Lord in the best way you knew how when you were a kiddo.
It just bothers
You said,
me.
I know everything about you, God.
I'm on the right.
And I'm going to shout it to the rest of the room.
Call me Righteous Gemstone?
Oh my god.
If you guys have HBO Max, y'all should watch Righteous Gemstone.
It's awesome.
It's a comedic version of what really does happen. So I will say, if you ever have never been to church and want to know what it's kind of like, or if you've been to church and you're kind of disillusioned and you're okay to laugh about it or see the underside of it, the two shows we recommend from both a white and black perspective are The Righteous Gemstones and Greenleaf. Yeah, those are really good shows. I had to tell Shira, I was like, it really is like that. She wondered why black people always want to come up to service coordinated. But
so, I mean, look, I belong to a predominantly black church here. And it is nothing like the Greenleaf Church. So, and then to hear that you went to these crazy, like, white churches who did some things that I just would be like, huh, what are we doing here?
That's fair.
It just baffles my mind.
That's true. I guess we're going to have a religious stream at some point, right?
I think so, yeah.
It's weird. We grew up with the opposite experience, what you'd think our color would be. Shush, you know.
That's why we come together.
It is. Ebony and Ivory. Ebony and Ivory. Apparently, we go to churches. She's the Ebony and I'm the Ivory. Whatchamacallit? Okay, to be fair, you didn't tell me that
Pinocchio was like got you in the gut, man.
It was. That was pretty. You know, that was a lot.
I did not recall the Pinocchio movie being like that.
Jesus Christ, Pinocchio! I didn't know you needed to tell me all these life lessons. I'm an adult. I shouldn't be crying at this. At the end of Terminator 2, when Arnie Lloyd. No, because that was a Terminator gangster move. He looked up the whole time, knowing he was burning up, and threw up that thumbs up. I'm still good, even though I'm melting. So anyone can shed a tear to that. I can give you that.
Oh, I'll tell Jenna thank you. You two are by for it.
I threw it up earlier.
Oh, you did? I missed it.
It's okay.
My 2 eyes didn't see it.
I know. I keep my eyes out. I gotta keep an eye on you. Okay. So that kind of brings us to a segue. I'm gonna bring this up and show y'all this, right? Excuse me. Now, I told you guys about why I call her Shiro, and I actually found the video from our wedding from 2 years ago. It is actually on YouTube. So if you can find it, you know, I'm not gonna give y'all my public names. People that know our names, if you look and type in our name and then you hit wedding, it'll show up, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, babe.
I did not know that.
Honey, how else do they think they put us on YouTube?
Someone's gonna deep fake me.
I told her about deep fakes like at brunch today, and now she's afraid. Wait, hold on. You think someone's gonna deep fake you on what?
I don't know. Now I'm worried about it.
You know what? I'm gonna deep fake you. I'm gonna deep fake you in the armor of God.
What?
Yeah, you're gonna be breakdancing in an armor, and it's gonna have a Bible on the front as an emblem. That's how I'm gonna deep fake you.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. How would you deep fake?
That can go one of two ways. Like,
why?
All the liberals are gonna be like, "Yes, God was a woman." Preach.
Okay,
sister.
you know what? Never mind. I take that back.
All the other Christians are gonna be like, "Blasphemy."
No, you're gonna get invited to all the churches, honey.
Could you imagine?
I'd be so mad. I'd be so mad at you for that. I would be so upset.
But I mean, let's preface this. Like, I didn't know much about any comics. Like, yeah, I've seen a Marvel movie here and there. With meeting Ego and what?
Chop flag on the play, babe. No.
Why?
Challenging that because since 10 days in from the day I met you, you're responsible for all the stuff y'all see back here. And I'm gonna show y'all this. Look at this up there, right? All the action figures, all the books, even the books behind us. Though that's all her, right?
So hold on.
What?
I supported you in your hobby. Doesn't mean I knew anything about it. I learned as we went along, and I learned the different like superhero names and what they did, and all the stuff you tell me about that I forget.
You even watched the Snyder Cut with me, ma'am. Snyder Cut. You watched the 4-hour movie with me.
I was kidnapped for that.
Yeah, I didn't let her leave. She had to watch that. It was, under threat of gunpoint.
Like, here's me trying to, support you in this, like, the thing that you love, what you're passionate about, and learn about it. And then you hit me with something way out of left field.
This was not, okay, you know what? We're going to have to I'm going to show y'all the clip that I'm talking about. Found this online. I'm going to let y'all be the judge. We don't really have the audio set up here, but I know once this clip is over, y'all let me know what you think. Again, these are, most important day of your life, right? I wrote my vows for Shiro 10 days after meeting her, right? So I have mentally practiced, prepared. Every word has an intention, okay?
Every word in mine had intention. I just did it the night before.
And that is why we are two different people right there. She just threw it together on the ride to the wedding. And it sounds like you've known it for months. I do it for years. And I'll show you the reaction she had right now when I actually do this. Check this out. You allowed me to be vulnerable and trusting again. You've allowed me to share my hopes, dreams, fears, and triumphs. You're my lover, friend, confidant, and because I love a DC Comics reference, my Wonder Woman or my She-Ro. Okay, now, I don't know if y'all saw her face.
Or heard me.
Or really heard her. But that is her that's her confused face. She leans, she smiles, she giggles, and her eyes squint a little bit. And again, I have been building this woman up and grooming her in the best way possible for 2.5 years. For her to, it was a softball. I said, "You're my Wonder Woman." And I'd called her my She-Ro before. And so
I don't remember that.
What?
I don't remember you ever referring to me as She-Ro.
You're getting all the betrayals today.
No.
Wow.
I'm serious. That's why I was so confused in the moment. Because I'm like, in my head, I'm like, okay, he listed Wonder Woman. He listed da-da-da. She-Ro. Who the fuck is She-Ro? Like, I don't understand.
All I'm saying is...
And then I realized, like, everyone said, aw, so I'm the only person in the room who doesn't get it.
Over 80 people knew that reference. I married the one that didn't know the reference. It's like, I wanted to trade in this model at that point for that point. I was like, you know what? Wedding over. I invested too much in you.
No,
this is what I get.
He didn't ask me about it. We kind of let it go. And then we're laying in bed one night.
Exhibitor was there. Exhibitor knows this.
Yes.
Exhibitor was like, bro, how did she not get it? I said, I don't know, man. Like, I was a softball. You got it right. He's like, of course I got it. I said,
did
Dr.
he
Dane.
realize I didn't get it?
When I went back and I asked everyone, it's like, yeah, we got it. His wife, Dr. Dane's got it. Everyone that was there got it but you. Even Justin Ice was actually doing our vows. The guy with the mask that was between us, that's Justin Ice. Like, that's how tight we are. He was actually the officiant at our wedding. He got it. He's wearing a mask, but you can see him smile through it. But this lady, ma'am. Yeah. So yes.
We're laying in bed, and I'm like really thinking about, like, they were so beautiful. I think we finally got the videos or something, so I was watching it back and realized, like, in that moment, I had no idea, like, who She-Ro was. And I said, honey, who is She-Ro?
I thought she was asking, like, who are those hoes you're talking to, and why is her name Shiro? And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, Shiro. I was like, you're Shiro. I know, but who is Shiro? I got up and turned the light on and just stared at her like I married a clone of somebody. I don't know how you did not get that. It was a rough one. It was rough. I could not believe it. What's up, Shelby? So yes, that was a hard one to deal with that day. But now I call her Shiro almost all the time, so she never forgets. So
hence why my name on the screen is Shiro.
Okay. Bro, you gotta tell oh my
See?
god.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Danes. Like
That it well no. No. I mean, like, yeah, I meant a female version of a hero. A Shiro. That's what I meant.
then how didn't she know it was a hero? I'm confused.
Well, yeah, the thing is like he's not doing it over, so he had to explain. Oh my lord. Oh my lord.
Okay, see, he had to explain it as well.
Okay, so yo, exhibitor, we gotta figure out when the next Philly convention is, or if you're coming back to the San Antonio one, you got to bring Dr. Danes, or I'm bringing Shiro with me. Like clearly, the indoctrination camp of comics and lore ain't sticking. We got to have them re-up. We have to re-educate them because they're both slipping. So I mean, good lord, guys. What was that? Blow the whistle. What was our wedding song? Oh, it was Second Guessing by Florida Georgia Line.
Well, that was our dance.
Oh, our
we
dance
did
was?
the CC Williams, the really pretty.
See.
Hold on, I know what it is. You keep going. I'm
photographic memory.
I'm gonna look it up.
132
when I see the name,
IQ.
I'm gonna know what it is.
Oh Lord. Yes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Tell her it's like, well, hey, you definitely failed the indoctrination that we got to bring you back. So, but yes, it was our first dance song was Florida Georgia Line's Second Guessing from Songland. So they had some guy on there, and Florida Georgia Line was the guest host, and the guy that won wrote a song called Second Guessing. So it's actually a really beautiful song. We actually had our first dance to it. It's fantastic.
Have to show that sometime.
We will have to show that sometimes. We practiced our first dance for weeks before we did that, and even Exhibitor was like, you would do a dance. I said, sir, you know me as well. And I also have to at least kids are getting shout out. Yes, I accept a shout out Exhibitor because the reason, I don't know if I've ever told anyone, but the reason I am called E.G.O is because of Exhibitor. I'll have to have him on at some point, and we'll have to talk about how I got that name, because it actually involves a comic convention and a lightsaber battle. So it's hilarious. Yes, you heard that story though.
I don't know if I actually have, or maybe I blocked it out. I'm not sure.
See, this is why I'm refusing.
You know, when the story starts, like, then I'll be like, oh yeah.
When does your photographic memory like help you when it comes to me?
What do you mean?
Like everything that every story I tell you can't remember.
That's not true.
But when I'm wrong on something that was years ago,
look, there's when it helps me.
Okay. All right. That's okay. That actually goes ahead and brings us to the hearing issues we've got here. So, I've talked to Mrs. Kanoy Sasquatch, who's got hearing loss. Exhibitor's wife, Dr. Danes, has hearing loss, and I've got hearing loss too. And so I'm not sure if everyone heard about the great bacon debacle of 2019 or 2020. 2020.
We were living together at that point.
2020, right?
Yeah, I'd say 2020.
All right, so 2020
right before COVID.
Right, yeah, right before COVID. So yeah, that was 2019 then.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, 2019. We were at a diner, and I'm ordering food, and I'm in my mind I'm processing the order in which I'll order things. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna get a sandwich with a side of bacon. So the only thing you should be asking me is, what do I want? Sandwich. And then the next thing you should say is,
no, you didn't get a sandwich. That's a whole first. They wouldn't ask you about.
See now, so now it's crystal clear. So now you know exactly what happened, Mrs. Replay. Really?
I do. I literally do. You got like a plate, right?
I guess.
Yes, where you have options of meat.
Oh.
Yes.
Anyway, so I was like, well, I mean, it's obvious that what I want with it is bacon. Duh. So the next thing she says, I just turn and say bacon. And what'd she say?
Okay. So he orders his eggs. And then apparently there's like a bread option that comes with a plate. And the server, is like, hey, do you want like toast, English muffin, biscuit with it? And instead of like looking at, and then the first time he doesn't hear her. And he looks up and said, "What, excuse me, what'd you say?" And so she repeats it again. And instead of like looking at her and reading her lips to like understand what she's saying, he's looking all around on the menu. One can't find it. Then looks up like he found it. He is so sure of himself that he found it. And she finishes and he looks up and says, bacon. And the poor server is like, I did not list that as an option. Fucking bread. What kind of bread do you want?
I mean, bacon bread does sound pretty cool, though. I wager that now they have a bacon bread on the menu, and they are all the better for it. Okay.
They might.
Anyway, so whatchamacallit? So what happened was we're gonna fast forward to Thursday, right?
Yeah.
So Thursday, she's finally well enough to go out for dinner. We went to Saltgrass. So we're sitting there trying to figure out what to order. And so she's like, oh, they have shrimp. And I was like, well, let's get cocktail shrimp. And she's like, oh, but cocktail shrimp is cold. So I'm like, okay, then I'm not going to get cold shrimp. I'm going to get hot shrimp. So she's like, what do you want, sir? I was like, hey, I want, what kind of fish was that?
Salmon. You got a salmon thing with like crab on it.
I'm a basic bitch on seafood. Okay. Anyway, I said I want.
Well, you got salmon at the Saltgrass. I just.
Anyway. So I said I wanted salmon, right? So I'm thinking he's asking what kind of shrimp I want. And I was like,
he did. I said, honey, do you want to add shrimp?
I said yes.
He said yes.
He said, what kind of shrimp?
He said grilled or fried.
So I looked confidently and said, hot.
And that poor man's face, and I cracked up. And you could see, like, he was like, oh, I didn't hear him.
And then I looked again, and I was like, hot. Like, I'm the one with hearing loss, damn it. So,
So I had to be like, honey, grilled or fried?
I know I fucked up right there. Said, I see. Yes, I would like grilled, please. Grilled. This man didn't look me in the eye for the next 30 minutes of serving us.
He did not. He was like, I can't go back over there.
Well, I mean, in his mind, I gave him the radio special. What kind of shrimp you want? Hi! So we got to work. I guess I have to adjust my hearing aids, which, by the way.
But again, if you cannot hear, why don't you look at their face?
He had a Dick Dastardly mustache, and it was covering his upper lip.
No, honey.
Yes,
you can still see his mouth move and say the words.
Grilled or it was like grilled or fried.
I can still read your lips.
No,
you've been working at this most of your life. You can't read lips?
No, what kind of lip? He had like a thin upper lip. Actually, I should have gotten him lip injections. So they can be big enough so I can actually see his lips move. Oh, his lips are too small to lip read.
So now you're cutting down the man because you couldn't figure out
absolutely
that he wasn't asking you for hot or cold shrimp.
Everyone knows. Don't take personal accountability. Put it on the other person. Show out whatever physical deformities they have and deficiencies and tell them to do better. Everyone knows this. Everyone knows this. So, whatchamacallit? They could have brought cold yet cooked. He meant hot. Exactly. I meant hot. Because if you got shrimp cocktail that's cold, it's like, how do you know I didn't want shrimp cocktail? Okay. I just thought the only shrimp I saw in there was shrimp cocktail. So I don't want it cold. I want it hot.
Okay, buddy.
Okay. I picture one day E.G.O will be swaying back and forth like Stevie. I kind of do that now a little bit at times. So.
Did you see Vampire's comment?
Where we are. I single-handedly brought radio back to relevance just in the... Yeah,
You mentioned him yesterday, too?
I did, yes. I did. It's just, it was a movie that he thought was supposed to be his Rain Man, and then it just did not work out
Can
for
you
him.
click the avatar for a second, please?
Yes, please. Give me 1 second.
My
Go ahead.
Wally Bolly got sick.
Oh, you did?
Come on, buddy.
Man.
It's okay. Come on. Let's go get your water.
Okay, so that happened. Okay. All right. And hold on.
You don't want to send it. It's fine.
I don't know how we're gonna do this when we have kids. That's gonna really be a different one. Okay. So I need you to help me get a good pair. Oh yeah, we'll talk. I can work on some connections and talk to that. Oh, by the way, I'll have to try to talk to you and possibly Dr. Danes as well about doing a hearing loss stream on there. Whatchamacallit, your problem was ordering a shrimp cocktail in general.
I know, right? We're like, for an appetizer, it's like, ooh, I see shrimp. I mean, fuck them stereotypes, right? You just
What?
I want shrimp.
Wait, that's a stereotype? Hold on.
I don't
No. It was on there as shrimp cocktail. That's the only one that you see. So I was like, when he said shrimp, I was like, well, I don't want the cold one. I want the hot one.
But I literally
I
pointed
never
to
saw
the
it.
add-ons.
You
I said,
told
honey,
me-
they're right there.
You told me on the other menu, I didn't see it. So
Yeah.
why would you expect me to be?
Is the
changed this
reason
time?
you wanted a woman who could read and write is because you can't read?
Shh. Shh. I'm not good at Braille yet, so shh. Whatchamacallit is the paid version of the show. Yeah, whatchamacallit. Oh yeah, yeah. Everyone either lost hearing. I have so many patients that lost hearing aids, or came into the office because they had trouble reading. They couldn't read lips with the mask. So
Well, you
yeah.
had the mask with the clear, like, face part, right?
Yeah, but then it's like no one told you it was gonna fog up. So now it's like you're a heavy breather, and now your mask is wet on top of not being able to breathe. So it was terrible. So that's
Well, and then
yeah.
also too, when you, I don't know if other people notice, but when you don't hear something, you pretend like you freaking heard it.
I'm good at it, yeah.
And then, like,
I don't deem it important enough. There's usually no follow-up question. So we can get to the next thing if I just...
I know, but when you do that to me, clearly there's going to be a follow-up question. Because you're going to say some off shit to me, and
That's fair.
then I'm going to be like, huh? What?
I see.
Good. Have a good show, Sippiter.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, dude. Oh, that's his favorite band. So yeah, I understand, good sir. Have fun with Alter Bridge.
He's going
That's
to
awesome.
see them.
Yes.
Okay. Thought he was playing.
Oh, okay. I thought you said okay. I thought he was gonna go I thought you were thinking that was like a religious thing, like Alter Bridge. Never mind. Okay. Nope. Don't. Nope. Close them. Close them. Don't do that. Don't do that at all. But yes, I usually do it. I'm trying to figure out what the next thing is. I go into patient mode. I'm like, what's the next? Give me to the problem.
But isn't okay? Stop there.
What?
Isn't it important to hear what your patient has just said to you, so that way you can get them the right thing?
Okay, you want to know how appointments sometimes go?
Sure.
So ask me what's going on with my hearing today.
What's going on with your hearing today?
It all started when I was born in 1948. It was a cloudy Thursday, and the weather was just fine.
That is not what happened.
That is exactly what happens. Except for you can ask your wife, Dr. Danes, how is that? How is it? Like, the appointment is an hour, sir. Let's get to the okay. That's great. So when did you notice you were having hearing loss? Fast forward 17 and a half years to a beautiful Friday, February 3rd, 1972. I was out with my friend Ricky, and we were playing with firecrackers. See, hey, noise exposure. Boom, cool. It's a literally, the check says yes or no for noise exposure, and there's a note section that tells me how do you have a loss, and I'm just right down there. Issue with volume or clarity? Yes.
Okay. Look, sounds like you. No. That wasn't a question, sir.
It's like, I'm just like, well, hey, okay. Is it because someone's not loud enough or not clear enough? They sit back. Both. Cool. Check. Okay, we're gonna go into the booth now to do the testing. I gotta keep it moving because if I don't, you know how affable I am. People like me, so they want to tell me everything. It has nothing
affable?
to. Yes. Now
where'd you get that SAT word from?
Now
How
I
long you
gotta
been
look.
knowing that
I
word?
knew when you asked me that I needed to look it up just to make sure I use it right. That's how you bother me. See, yes, that word. Good natured or easy to talk to. I knew what it was when I said it, but you confused me with what does that mean right now? Hold on. This isn't a quiz right now. I need to make
No, I'm
sure.
just saying you just have these words in your pocket you throw out.
Yes, honey.
Why?
You need to know the
How?
word. I read, honey, and write because I didn't have any friends when I was homeschooled. You only
You
have
had
your brothers.
friends. Your brothers were your friends. Yeah.
That's great. I mean, but I see them every day, so I need to read these books. And
So, and
hey,
what happened when you threw a word like affable at your brother? He
didn't
punched you in the forehead, didn't he?
well, I mean, he would do this thing where he got mad at me. He'd tell me to look that way and throw his fist out. So I turned, give me bloody nose one time. So
Oh no!
I mean,
See, that's why God didn't give me siblings.
yeah, you be awful on that one.
I'd
You
be
take care,
terrible.
you take care of them later in life, but they say some shit about you in school. So there she is, the Reaper.
The Reaper.
So yes, honey, I've seen people all day that have hearing loss, and I talk with people that have hearing loss all day, and I'm talking to them and helping them solve a problem that they're not sure they have. So when I come home, it's hard to turn that off. So I'm just like, you keep talking. Oh, da, 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 da. Oh, okay. Yes. I was like, where's the problem? Where's the conflict? I need some juice, and it's not there sometimes. So I'm just like, okay, well, in the level of importance of a 1 to 10 here, 3. I can kind of coast this. Let's change the subject so I can know things that really
But
matter.
I'm not a storyteller like you are. I
And
give you
that's
like 2 sentences on what happened, and
I
then we're
know.
done.
I remember how you message when we go on dates, honey. And that's how your stories are. 2 sentences. How was your day? It was good. Okay. So what happened? Nothing much. How was your day? And I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this right now. So I was saying that when that happens, thank you. When that happens, I'm like, do I not, don't take this the wrong way, but it's, do I care enough to ask a follow-up question? Now you come in with some bangers sometimes. You're like, yo, guess what happened at work? And I'm like, yo, she's hyped. And it's only Tuesday. What happened at work? And then I get some juice. Okay. That's when you come in with that energy, then I know it's like, okay, you got something good. Otherwise, I'm like, you're alive. The dogs are alive. Nothing's broken in the house. Cool. That's a 3 out of 10. We can go to the next thing.
Okay,
What?
you know what though? I have a grievance though.
Grit is your grievance. You
You
shouldn't have any, but it's me we're dealing with.
When we talk about hearing, you know what it's like not to be able to hear and someone to talk behind you and not hear them, but they expect you to hear or be impatient with you.
Yes.
You, sir,
Well, I do.
try to talk to me from another
I
room
don't do
or when
no.
the water's running or something, and you act like I should have heard you. What?
What?
What do you
No.
mean, what?
No, that's what it's for. I mean, I
You
don't do
don't
that
give
with
me
you.
the same grace I give you in hearing.
Ma'am.
Sir.
I get graces with hearing. This is what happens when I don't hear her. Alma, turn the pack on.
Yes.
That's the grace I've received. That's the grace that I received. Okay.
Well, because I know when you're not wearing your hearing aids or they're not in the right program. Because you don't hear me. Like, I just, I have learned, I will say, like, being with you has taught me to have some patience in that department, because I know that in previous relationships, if someone didn't hear me, I got very frustrated with them. Like, you're not listening, da 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 da.
I think after your mom got hearing aids, you understood a little bit better.
Well, that was a nightmare. I spent 10 years of my mother's life thinking that she didn't give a shit about what I had to say or what I was doing in my life, because every time I talked to her, I'd tell her something exciting about my life, and then she would just talk about something completely different. Yes. And so I spent 10 years thinking that this woman didn't care. And then here you come along and you're like, oh, honey, she can't hear you.
Yes, I will forever say the funniest thing that ever happened was when she told her to turn left and she turned right. That was it'll never not be funny. And it was like the second time I'd met her. I was like, oh yeah, she can't hear. But I was like my ass off. That's funny. But I will say that uh her husband, like when he acts the same way that I act around you, dealing with you. So I was like, you are your mother's daughter in a lot more ways, and it's funny to watch. So I will say we've learned patience on my part, but we're also gonna have to take a sign language class.
No,
'Cause-
we are, because you cannot hear me in loud settings at all.
Okay,
At
right.
all. And then what is going to happen when you turn like 60 and you really just can't hear because of old age?
Well, I
I'm
mean,
going to punch you in the throat.
first of all, I mean, granted, as long as I stay in the profession I'm in, my hearing aids will always be free. So I mean, I always have a fresh setup.
Okay, honey, but you still can't hear all that great
I just need
sometimes
I need
with
to
the hearing aids in.
I need to buy the software from them so I can actually make adjustments at home. That way, you like, hey, I asked my patients, what is your chief complaint about your hearing? They all say the same thing. My wife. It's like, you know what? Say, I understand, guys. I understand. I'm part of that now. So yes, so I'm gonna have to get the software so I can make adjustments because we went out to brunch. I had to whatchamacallit, adjustments. Oh no, I don't have that luxury. We saw a deaf couple argue online one time.
I wish you had that video.
I'm gonna try to find it.
I don't
Like, but
know.
there, if you type up deaf people fighting, now I'm gonna say they put hands on each other, which you shouldn't do. However, we saw a deaf couple that argued and one tried to ignore. I'm gonna show you what happened when she's trying to talk to me. Everyone's throwing up the hand signs, like like F you and everything. So he's like, I don't want to see that. What she do? So it was so funny.
That man was going to hear her. Okay?
So we know that if the other person's ignoring them and we don't care, we're like, what should we call it? I'll talk to you and work with you on that one. It is, but we'll talk. We'll have to talk. We'll have to talk. But yes, I will say that yeah, there's no way I'm gonna be able to ignore her at all. At best, I can let it sit for 10 seconds because I was like, I don't want her to talk to me right now. I'll just be quiet for 10 seconds, and if she repeats it again, then okay, it's up to the level where I should respond. She's like, oh, you'll ask something that would just that'll bother me. I don't know what you ask me sometimes, but you'll be like, I'm trying to figure out what it is.
Like, what are you doing?
Yes. There it is. That's it. That's it right there. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Why,
what are you
why
doing?
does that bother you? I asked you that.
Because I'm like, shit, should I be doing something? I didn't have anything that I was doing. What was on the agenda of things to do that I missed? And now you're asking me what I'm doing. And now it's a quiz. And if I get it wrong, damn. So I let it sit there. And maybe if you ask me again without trying to look for me, then it's like, well, okay, well, maybe now she's just asking what I'm doing. But I was like, if I say I'm doing nothing, that means you're going to want me to do something. And I was fine doing nothing because I wasn't thinking about doing anything else until you brought it up.
I know, but
now
you
can do
just
something.
waste your time on the Twitter and the phone and all that stuff.
Babe, I will tell you this.
He will do that in the middle of a restaurant. Get on his phone and look at all this stuff, and I'm like sitting there like, hey, bro, I'm right here. Oh my god,
that'd be hilarious. all I'm saying is, babe, when you get messages from everything, you're gonna know it too. She tried to turn off Twitter notifications on the Twitter that she just started today. I said, man,
it kept buzzing.
Turn the buzz off.
But I didn't know how to use it yet, so it's annoying.
You didn't ask nobody. See?
What you mean I didn't ask nobody? I can't ask you because you just take the phone away and do it.
Yeah, then I'll talk about it later. Because it was an annoyance to you. And the last thing you want to do when that annoyance is step 1 is this, step 2 is this, step 3 is this. I knew how annoyed you were. It's like, well, hey, we'll just turn it off. And then like, hey, how did you do that? Well, if you want to know, here, let's walk through it. Yes,
that's how that works, honey.
Why not? No. Babe, whenever we have a project around here.
You know what? Okay, look.
What?
You keep your way, because guess who gets annoyed when someone comes back to them to ask them, how to do it or ask them to do it again. It's you. You have a cap on how much you like to give.
I do.
You love to give, but I know after a certain point, I have to back away and just let you have your space.
Yes.
So you could avoid some of that by just,
I don't know, because if I can't give you the step-by-step instructions, the cap has been reached. Or I'll give you the step-by-step instructions, because that is the cap right there. Here, go. Leave me alone.
No.
I love you.
No. Literally, it's like you cannot articulate what I'm supposed to do. So you get frustrated and do it yourself.
Yes, because it's like you wait till the time crunch to want to know how to do it.
I didn't wait till no time crunch.
For which one?
For anything.
Babe, for the Twitter today, you waited within half an hour of us going to brunch before you
said,
went.
let me do this video, and then I will come help you with Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Those were your words. So how did I put you in a time crunch?
Because you were like, babe, we have to go to lunch. Oh, see? See, now you know you're wrong.
No.
She cut me off before I finished it.
No.
Now she knows she's wrong. She's wrong.
No.
No, that's how she does it. She just says no. I don't get to finish my retort on it. That's how I know I was right. She just says no right before I finish.
Okay, go ahead, finish, because we had brunch at 10:30, right?
Yeah.
That was gonna be your argument.
Well, yeah,
well, you had promised to help me with Twitter, but instead of doing that first, you chose to do something else. So now I put you in a time crunch?
Yes.
No, honey.
Because
no, honey, you got your priorities mixed up.
Nah.
You promised me something, and then you
fellow creatives have backed me up, right? I was gonna set her up after I told everyone, I made the announcement about the stream. I made the thumbnail, and then I also had a copy and paste of the actual thing to say. So all she had to do was copy paste the minute she dropped her Twitter. So I set all that up for me. So all you do is, hey, babe, click that.
Did everybody hear that? I set all that up for me.
So that you can just copy, paste, throw it up there. Yeah. So then when I came over there, I said, hey, I emailed you the exact blurb to say. For me, for me not to boil over with anger and passion for you, my love. So you can do that. So yes, I saw you working. I was like, that's a good man right there. He's just leading up. The minute Mrs. Clinton says, what is? He's like, no, gotta fix it. Let me here. Stay being beautiful, talking to everyone else, having a good time. Because that was fun watching y'all do that. But we want to make sure that.
I mean, in the moment, we can feel each other's frustrations, but I don't think it ever is like, I'm not taking it so seriously. Like, I understand how you are, so.
Do you think this makes our communication better?
What does? What makes our communication better?
All the issues that we have, or wait, no, I don't actually. Yeah, C4C. What do you mean by the communication skills better? Because I will say we're just talking about like between all the hearing situations and the fiascos we have. No, because we're not the point where we can give each other a look quite yet.
Sometimes, but it's not 100% for sure.
No. We're not there yet. I think we got to get a few more years in before we can do a look, and then that's either the apology or the look.
Stupid question.
Right. Afterwards. Oh, the hearing. Oh no. I mean, it. I will say it makes you. She has more patience than she would otherwise. And for me, I mean, ooh.
No, it don't make you patient.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all.
Or like a good communicator. The first time we ever got into an argument, he just left the house.
Okay.
Like
I was taught if you're mad, you walk away so you don't say bad things. So I didn't know that you didn't know how to handle an elderly dog. Because like you've had dogs before, shouldn't you know this? I know that now. That older dogs revert to almost puppy stages in terms of having accidents, okay?
Yeah.
So your dog had an accident. I didn't know how to handle it because this dog has made a mess of my apartment.
It made the mess in the kennel.
And then it walked it dry, like a Stone Cold Steve Austin production of stomping a mud hole in someone's ass and then walking it dry. Betty walked it dry all over my carpet.
She was in the kennel. She didn't walk all over your carpet.
She chewed out of it because it was the mesh one because we didn't have your big kennel yet.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
Okay. I remember poopy paw prints just
everywhere
in a circle because Betty was blind at that time.
Betty Betts.
So anyway, what you call it? So yeah, so yes, I that was a time for me to walk away, and then she told me, why did you walk in? I said, 'Cause I was upset. She's like, but if you're upset, why don't you talk about it? I was like, because you're supposed to walk away when you get upset. She's like, you're not supposed to do that. So then I learned you're supposed to use your words.
Or, I mean, it's okay to do that, but use your words and say, I need a minute.
That's true. I
And you
didn't
know what
say
I
anything at
mean?
all. I
Like,
didn't
he
say anything
just
at all.
left.
I
He just
left.
didn't say shit and took off. And
That
I
is
was like,
fair. I
oh,
know that
okay.
now. I know that now. Conflict resolution wasn't my strong suit. For as much as I am around people and I'm in the people industry, don't necessarily like
He's really
people
bad at conflict.
generally. Yes, that's why I smile and lean in. Because if I nod enough, you'll leave me alone. Hopefully. I mean, that's why the first, like, meeting all her friends can be a lot sometimes because she has so many of them, and people I generally like her, but it's like I have to add another person to the memory of people that she knows, and then it's like she'll throw the name out, and I'm like, who the hell is this? And then I won't hear the name that I thought I heard. So whose name did I thought I hear? You talking about someone else today, this morning, and I'm like, one of your friends.
I don't know.
I was like, I thought you said Bill, and you were like, it's
Oh,
someone else.
yeah, Bobby or Bill, and I don't know.
It was her.
Bobby.
Oh no, it was her aunt, and she said the
Oh,
aunt's
yeah.
name. But I was like, "Who the fuck is another person I have to remember? When did I meet them? Like, are they important enough that you have to bring their name up now?" She's like, "No, it's my aunt." I was like, "Oh, you said that name. Okay." So yes, that is my general annoyance. Is partly because of how popular she is, and we're back in her home city. So at any point, she can meet someone from high school, middle school, her first job, and I'm tasked with having to remember that name and forever having to remember that name in case she bumps into them again. Because the last thing she wants me to say is, "What was your name again?"
I don't care if you say that.
I
Sometimes
know,
I have to ask that shit. I don't remember their name.
honey. I got like 4 friends, and you know them all. That's so you never not gonna know the names.
So I went to a high school that graduating class like 700 or something at the time.
I know. It's just they all
So
know you. And the thing is, not like they have to. Is that Shiro? It's Shiro. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I watched Groundhog Day yesterday, but I don't know if y'all remember Needle Neck Ned. Like, and he's like, Phil, is that you? Like, that's how everyone walks up to Shiro that remembers her at some point in her life. So it's hard having to remember those names. So the trick I came up with very early is to ask anyone if they went by a nickname because I don't remember your real name, and hopefully they don't catch it and just give me a nickname that I can work with. But good lord, I know I married her because she's a great person. Just didn't know that she'd be popular too, and that's lots of burden with me sometimes, honey. I was like, hey, all of my people can fit in this one room, and that's it. All the people that I ever know, and sometimes I'll ever hope to know, can fit in one room.
yeah.
You know, I only make new friends if she makes me.
What?
Yeah,
Why?
because like I was like, I don't know. I was like, sometimes I don't trust you when you pick friends for me. It's like that Chris Rock joke. You're like, hey, you bring two men together, and the wife's like, you like baseball. I like baseball. He likes baseball too. He's like, I like baseball too. You should be friends. And then all you talk about is either routes to work or grilling or something like that. Like, which is why Abomination AG was such a spectacular find. She was like, you really should talk to Abomination AG. I was like, he works with dogs and I have dogs, but that's really it. So I didn't really want to talk to him like the first time or two. He's like, hey, you doing good? Yeah. Where the dog's at? Okay, bye. And so, if it weren't for the Green Lantern ring, I would have probably just been on my way because I would have been like, well, hey, I have enough friends, even though they don't live in the state of Texas. I have as many as I need. So, but I will say if I didn't do that, if you hadn't pushed that, I wouldn't have met Abomination AJ, which means I wouldn't know all the lovely people that are now in this chat. So, you make me do things I don't want to do, but they often are my benefit. So,
Well, and it's not that I make friends everywhere I go. It's just when I meet people, like, I generally try to find the good in them or, like, what I enjoy about them.
I know.
So
And
it's easy for me to be like, oh, hey.
It is. It's just, but then they want to do stuff too.
What's
And
wrong with doing stuff?
I don't want to do anything. I'm out every day talking to people. I'm just like, I don't want to talk to anymore. That's all.
But you talk to people every day online.
This is a scheduled meeting. This is, and then I like that. It's you throw comments in here, and whenever we want to talk about things, you can highlight them. She held me at gunpoint. Now I'm forced to act like she's nice to me. Understood. I understood. Yes. And so it's like whenever you want to do things with couples thing, it could be anything. And I'm like, wow. I was like, now I have to put on real clothes. I just got used to wearing scrubs to work because I like that. So now I have to put on real clothes. I have to go someplace that I've never been before. With people I'm not sure if I'm going to like or not. And they don't want to do anything. They rarely want to do things on weekends now. Like, do you ever notice when you go on couples dates, it's on the weekdays?
What?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I have. I've noticed that about couples.
We just went to brunch today with
those
a
are
couple.
married. Okay, you know what? Don't invalidate my argument right now with
I
your
guess
logic.
really.
What?
You got
know
all
what?
the SAT words, but critical thinking wasn't. Did you?
Oh, you know what? Stream over. No, stream over. Take your NyQuil tonight. Take your NyQuil tonight. Take your NyQuil tonight. Anyway.
Oh God.
So yeah, I will say buy a lantern ring for commemoration. We probably will. Actually, dude, I think like either this week or next week is the first year that we actually had a conversation together.
Who?
Me and Abomination AJ.
Oh, see, I barely remember our anniversary most times. So.
That is the other thing. That's what bothers me. Again, photographic memory, 130 IQ, and she can't even remember our anniversary. I have to remind her. She almost booked a girls' weekend on our anniversary.
No, I made sure, honey. I made sure.
Okay. All right.
I did.
All right.
Even when I was talking to my girlfriend, I said, "Oh, I can't book it this weekend. I got to do it the next weekend."
Okay. I will say that. Oh yeah, dude. That's all good, man. Thanks for having me on when I did. But I will say, whatchamacallit, yes, sometimes the gaps in both of our understanding sometimes can annoy us, but we don't know how we're going to handle a kid when we decide to have one.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Because even though you love telling stories, like when you tell me a story, like it's like he has the conversation in his head and leaves the middle part out. And I'm like, where? What? Who did what? Hold on. You were talking about so-and-so, and now you're saying they did this, but that doesn't make sense. And he gets extremely frustrated.
I do. I sometimes forget to actually include people in on the conversation, so they have to ask questions like, who is that? Or are you talking about Bob or are you talking about Stacy? So I understand. So I'm like, well, given how I like to tell stories and the fact that I don't include things, I was like, I have no idea how I'm gonna be able to listen to our kid tell a story. And Billy, he was at the daycare, and then it was nap time, and then we played kickball as a group, but not me. It was Shannon, and then I'm gonna fall asleep, or I'm gonna punt this kid across the living room if he does not get to the point.
What if they're like me? What were you calling me the other day? The hammer?
Oh, good Lord! Just everything is supposed to be a nail. She's a hammer, and everything is a nail. She just has to hammer down.
True.
What was the context of me saying it?
So one of my friends asked me for AJ's business information for the dogs, and I, instead of letting it sit, I said, "Oh, are you getting a dog?"
Oh my God! Like she won't let things be. She won't let people try to do a reveal because she's our friend's like, hey, we don't. Our dog is a little bit old and basically stays at the house. So hey, Abomination AJ, what's his card information? Now you let that hang. You say, oh, here it is. Let me know how it turns out.
I gave it to her,
and then immediately, are you getting a dog? Like, oh my God, let it ma'am, let it hang. You don't have to just hammer down on something that's.
But I had a question, so I asked it. What is wrong with that?
You save that for a conversation to be had later.
But why?
So you don't let yourself be surprised.
This is why you get stuck in situations because you don't like conflict or anything, or ask a question.
You let things.
I don't let it sit. I'll just ask.
No, let it
hang. Yes or no.
You can practice your surprise face. Oh my goodness, a new dog. Oh my God. Oh, so that's why you asked about Abominations AJ. Oh my goodness, tell me all about it.
My surprise face.
It's awful. Yes.
Exactly.
You don't. Well, the thing is, you don't let things surprise you, which is why we have a dog in the first place. That's why we have. Jesus Christ, which is how she almost spoiled her own proposal because she asks questions. She doesn't pretend not to know, or she doesn't play dumb very well, which is, it's not something you want to. You're like, okay, I'm glad you don't play dumb well. It's just, let me know that you're trying not to be surprised, then put the surprise face up.
I did really well with the last surprise. I don't remember exactly what it was.
So was it a surprise if you don't remember what it was?
However, whatever y'all were doing,
Yo.
I texted my best friend and said, "Oh, is he trying to surprise me?" And she said, "Yes, let it be." And I let it be. I did my best.
Basic common language. Yeah, I can see that. Sometimes I will say that was.
Oh, see, Jenna's way better than me. I'm
Please,
learning. I'm learning.
Mrs. Jana, please teach her in the ways of dumb playing. Just, eyebrows go up. You do the Macaulay Culkin. What? You should. You got. I know all. I make all the faces. I read.
And I don't, do I?
No, and the thing is, she doesn't see the art that was done into this. I put the tension in the back of my head so my forehead goes up, my eyebrows are raised, clearly indicating surprise. I read a book on body language specifically to say for this moment. She's not paying attention or knowing the gravity of this moment. And that's what bothers me. I think outside of my proposal to you, I've never surprised you. I tried to buy her actual pajamas for Victoria's Secret one time, and within 30 seconds of me making the purchase, why were you Victoria's Secret? I was like, oh, shit.
No, that actually, I didn't know it was Victoria's Secret. You withdrew money again from our account, and I thought somebody got our account stuff and was taking money because you had already taken money out. And then this guy, terrible at lying, like really bad at it.
That's fair.
I text him like, "Hey, honey, did you just take money out?" Like, it was a simple question. And then he comes back with, "Yeah, I needed a shirt and a tie." This is when he was
traveling.
No, you were on an unemployment during COVID. It was during COVID.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah. And so I'm thinking, and I think we had like maybe an event or something. You needed something.
Something, yeah.
Anyways, and he's like, "No, I took out, money for a shirt and a tie." And I was like, "Huh, okay." The JC Penney takes card.
I know. Now that I think back, I was like, you know what? I really should have.
And then he's like, I can see the dots, right? The dots happening.
Took a while.
And then he comes back at me with like this really like heart sort of like wrenching thing for a spouse. And he says, I'm feeling a little down about like not having my income right now. And he gives me some sob story that I actually kind of buy.
Oh, it was so good.
I actually kind of buy, but then, what is that app? Him and my best friend.
Oh, we were on Marco Polo.
I get a notification that they both are on Marco Polo. And I'm like, these fools are plotting on me. And so I called him out, and then he has to call me. And he's like, "Honey, I'm buying you something for Valentine's Day." Thank you, Miss Cannoli. Exactly. Like,
it's the fact that usually these things are the default. When you use each other's computers, you wind up typing things in that winds up giving you not the default, but the autofill. If you don't do it right, you actually wind up putting in someone else's information. They wind up getting notifications. So that's happened too. But I was like,
and all the reward accounts are under me because I had them already.
Everyone in the city of San Antonio, I know that any retail store has your account information. I don't even say my name no more. I just put the number in and was like, it's under Shiro. No, because they look at me as if you don't look like a Shiro. One day I'll explain. It's like, why don't I look like a Shiro?
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, what am I doing during Black History Month?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yes. Oh yes. But anyway, but yeah, I'm not really good at in the moment confrontation, but she's confrontational. So we'll see how it works when we have a kid, and then our jokes make sense to us, but I don't know if a child's gonna get it. So whenever I'm wrong, we just when we're wrong, we deal with the Donald the Donald Trump approach. We're like, wrong, false, incorrect, in the middle of a sentence, which means I know I'm wrong. My bad. We don't actually apologize unless it's really bad, right?
Yeah, well, I don't think anything is that serious for us. I mean, like, even if you like tell me something off and I'm like, your face, like, our kid's gonna go to school and tell someone, your face is a wrench.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like when we also joke, we're like, you're wrong, and then the other person says, no, your face is wrong. So we're like, you know what? When we have a child, we're gonna have to kind of cut that down because our kid's probably not gonna apologize. You're like, little E.G.O or little E.G.O doesn't apologize. They just say the person's wrong or incorrect, and then they say their face is incorrect. Where does that come from? I was like, damn, I gotta.
Not me.
Right.
I don't know.
Right. So we're gonna have to, we'll have to have a parenting podcast stream at some point with parents and just ask about different aspects of things, like what to expect once you're expecting. I guess it'll have to be another stream on that one because our kid's gonna either be a badass or a hard ass.
Don't cry in the shower.
Wow. So the funny thing is I think the only thing that Shiro's not gonna be able to tolerate is if we have a kid that winds up being a mathlete.
I would be okay with that. Band is my nightmare.
What instrument in band?
Any of them.
It can't be the woodwinds though. I'm telling her no.
Band.
No. Okay. As long really band.
Yes, band.
I mean, but what instrument would be the worst of those? Like if they play like the cymbals, all you're gonna hear is this every once in a while, and it's one song.
Okay.
Like saxophone, xylophone, trumpet, saxophone. Oh, the clarinet.
And tuba. I feel like the tuba.
Yeah, but that's a tuba's probably terrible. Bassoon maybe, but I'm gonna tell her, hey, look, you can't play the flute, can't play the clarinet, can't play none of the woodwinds.
They better not come at me with that damn recorder in middle school. We not doing that. My parents totally said no. Put it down.
Hot cross buns would be a pain in the ass. Yes, but I'm just like, whatchamacallit. Oh yeah, we were talking about y'all. We were thinking about that. Yes, please. We're bringing y'all in there. We pray for a son because I don't know how I'm be able to handle a daughter because she's gonna be spoiled as hell. But then I don't know if I'm gonna say she could do something, and then I'm gonna hear Shira from the other corner. I told that little chick not to do that. I said, but why can't you? Why can't she? She acts nicely. She's like, I said no. I was like, I mean. But we don't know why you said no.
It don't matter why I said no. I said no.
So that's why I'm saying, we're gonna have to go, bro. I know I'm gonna have to with athlete and in when state you guys are in. That's probably gonna be well enough. I mean, between me being 5'6" and her being 5'2", sports isn't gonna be like the option unless you're gonna be a wrestler.
Wrestling or lifting.
That's true.
Poor guys, they're gonna be so short.
Matt,
and stocky,
yeah. That's why it's hopefully a son, because otherwise, you know what, honey? Once the WWE is on for tryouts, throw a luchador mask on you and a weight belt strap, and we got a character. We can actually be your managers for that. So, I don't know soccer.
Yeah, that can be quick.
No, I can't.
What do you mean, no?
I gotta watch something that could end in a tie.
I love soccer. I love watching soccer live.
Why? You know how mad you would be
because
if I ran?
You know how gangster they get on the field? They literally, when they run with their elbows out. So they get... Ugh.
Yeah, and then I've seen them flop, too. I was like, no, sir. No, there's nothing for you to... You don't wear any kind of equipment or armor outside of shin guards to justify that flop. Yeah, I couldn't do soccer, no. That'd be so boring. You ran all the way over to someone to kick it all the way over there. And then I don't even know the score, and then the days that you have to go there, no, soccer and baseball.
Baseball's just a lot.
It's a lot. And you have a double header. Round. Yeah.
Who knows? Whatever. We're gonna support them. Whatever.
Yeah, that's fair. Dude, you gotta get your daughter. And I know you tried volleyball, but this one can't wait. I know that if our daughter, if we have one, decides to go to volleyball, it's gonna be hard for me. Because I'm just like, hey, go out there, do your best. Hey, half the battle showing up sometimes, all right? Am I right? Hey, let's be good sports out there, all right? This one is be like crush your enemies completely.
Yes.
She's 7.
Yes.
I mean, you don't have to learn. It's not the 3. She's not Spartan training yet. Okay.
I mean, why not? Life is tough. If you go out there being like, oh, yay, I participated, like, no, somebody else is going to come crush you. Be the crusher.
Okay. I mean, if they get good at soccer, I won't say no. I mean, I'd rather have, if we had a son, like, hey, play soccer, don't play football to a certain point because of the concussion. I know that you get concussions in soccer, but yeah. Yeah, okay, that's fine. All right, I have to consider that.
I don't know. He believes in participation trophies. I do
No,
not.
no, that's not what I said. I will say that wow. See, this is the problem I have is that every movie in the 90s did not tell you that one. You saw Mighty Ducks 1, 2, and 3. It was about the lessons you learned through the sport, okay? My favorite, I know it's going to sound just like that episode of the Boondocks, and I probably am Mr. Dubois in some point, but when he did that thing about the episode about Mighty Ducks 2 being inspirational, that was what I was like. That's one of my favorite sports movies of all time, okay? It's the lessons in friendship making you learn along the way.
And mine is Any Given Sunday.
Wow. Wow. See, that's yeah. I know you can be like, Willie Beeman. Wow. Okay.
Look, they're gonna be laying on the field. I'm like, you better get your butt up. We're gonna walk this off.
You went to Europe?
Wow, that's awesome.
Whoa. Okay, I'm not. Okay, I did not know I got that serious. All I am saying is, whenever you watched movies in the 90s that was sports related, you just happened to win at the end. Okay. But it was because you learned the lesson that you're supposed to learn through the sport, like teamwork, communication, turning enemies into friends. And then Miss 300 over here is, this is volleyball. You're gonna front kick our kid in the chest onto the court. So, I mean, if you want to tell them what you did with the soccer tournament yesterday.
Soccer tournament?
Not soccer tournament, volleyball tournament.
What did I do?
You yell when you were yelling at them. Oh.
Okay, they're 13. I know they're going to get distracted, but in one of the game, like they know it's their responsibility to know when they go in and out of the game. And at some point, the girls decided talking and chit-chatting during the game was more important than knowing when to go in the game. So I yelled, get in the game!
Now, I would have been like, wow, that's a little too much for this tournament. But
everybody heard me.
And what did the parents say?
They said, yeah!
Say, good Lord.
So,
okay, Mrs. Catania the Barbarian. Okay, wow. So this is why you, Mrs. Cannelly, and Jana need to be on your stream. I got Xena Wonder Woman and Catania the Conqueror over here. My God, all the dad's gonna be like, we really didn't. We didn't. Did you know she was that competitive? I didn't know she was competitive. Did you know she was that disciplined? I didn't really know. It's like, good Lord. Okay. So, yeah. So that's why it's going to be interesting to see our parenting styles when it comes to things. I don't believe in participation trophies. I believe that sometimes half of the battle is showing up.
Okay.
And if someone doesn't show up, I'm like, well, and there's an award that's up for grabs. If we had to actually go toe to toe and you don't show up, I get that award. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
That's not a participation trophy. I don't like participation trophies. I'm okay with, hey,
you lost.
Good job. No,
no, I don't mean like saying, oh, you lost. I mean saying that, like, you just said go to toe. So this person wins, this person loses.
So this is what happened.
Loser doesn't get a trophy.
So this is what happened. I was in a roller derby when I was 8. And my dad had the best idea of putting your weight on the bottom of your wood. It was like a wood shop thing, or like a roller. It was a wood shop derby. So you get a block of wood, you turn it to like a car. And so what we did was we put ours on the bottom instead of the top. The only problem is we didn't hollow out the block, so it got stuck.
Oh.
And the thing is, it was such a genius plan, it didn't work, and I cried so much. They had to invent a trophy for me to give to me. 4th place.
Shh. But why give you a trophy?
I cried that much. I didn't know
didn't like make a design that worked.
Oh, that actually is a perspective show topic on the
Yeah.
competitiveness of the women in our lives. Yeah, that should probably be the next one. I didn't know they were gonna give it to me. They just like the next day when awards came out, they had fourth
They
place, and I
had
was
it,
like,
yeah.
it's like they were definitely like three. Wow. Cried like a little bitch. Okay, all right,
Oh,
but
honey,
no,
how old were you?
8.
Okay,
I was a bit of a crier
that's
for a while.
okay.
Anyway, I was.
I think I will struggle with that, the crying.
That's where I think I'm in. I've watched enough '90s sitcoms and know how this goes. In my mind, the talk music comes on where someone's playing the keyboard in the background, and there's the guitar solo. If you watch enough Full House, you know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Well, did it work out? Well, hey, sometimes your best isn't going to be good enough for that day, but you tried your best. I saw you prepare, and one day it's going to work out. Oh, thanks, Dad. And the audience goes, oh, and then we hug, and it's like, well, hey, let's go get some ice cream. I like ice cream. Episode over. Done. Next thing.
So what are you gonna do when I say the kid starts crying? I say, honey, let's go take a shower.
But like, don't listen to your mom right now.
Self-soothing, right? Is that a thing?
You must not want to be taken care of when I can't take care of you. I'm playing the
You're
long
the
game.
only one I have really let take care of me.
Right. I was like, but then we
Because
gotta.
when I get upset, and I want to, blast off or whatever, there are times you grab me and hug me.
Yes, and I know there are. I'm just like, when you have a kid, it's like someday they're gonna choose, once they become power of attorney, to remember that day that you didn't let them have ice cream because you wanted to take a shower. I'm not paying for that. You ain't putting me in a state sanctified home. Okay, I've been there. It's terrible. I refuse to live out the last days of my life in squalor. Okay,
And no pants.
and no pay. All right, this is what happened, right? When I was traveling in my profession, and my very first day on the job, I had to shadow someone else, and I drove an hour to this facility. And I shit you not, the very first person that I saw had no legs and came to the appointment with no pants on and no drawers. Okay. So what have I gotten myself into? That I knew that day, whatever child I have, I'm gonna be tough and fair, but I'm gonna be very nice the older they get. Because I refuse to have someone call me for a hearing test and I show up with no legs and no pants. I refuse to let that happen. So all I'm saying is the older they'll have to learn some tough lessons, but I need to give them Danny Tanner talks. Okay, it's what because I'm not. It's like, hey. I just know that when we pick up, our retirement papers, and like, hey, you get Whispering Pines state run. Because the better it sounds, the worse the facility. It says, hey, come to Whispering Pines. You know what? They beat you in your sleep.
Oh my god!
Everyone knows that at Whispering Pines, they beat you in your sleep. I'm gonna go to the Belvedere. That sounds nice. It sounds like it's an independent living facility. I will be taken care of, and I'll be allowed to live independent until I croak. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
We actually should probably get insurance for that.
Ah, shit. Yeah.
So
I guess
that way
so.
our kids can't be like state facility for you.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't think I have to get there because of the Danny Tanner moments that I've inspired them when they were young.
You're
Okay.
assuming that your child is going to be successful and can afford to put you in a Belvedere place.
The SAT words the minute you learn your first word.
See, okay.
Can
See,
you say?
in the sports
Can you say
world, I'm the
onomatopoeia?
tough one. In the academic world, this man is going to be flipping tables.
Oh yeah.
When that child can't answer the question, that's not good.
Yes, it is. It's fantastic. Honestly, I've had friends that are Chinese, Vietnamese, and Korean. Is why get A? I'm gonna be like that. Like, yo, why get A in English? Dad is doctor, mom is accountant. Why get A in English?
Because you say why get A. That's why.
Asshole.
Oh man.
So yes, that has been our journey so far, guys. We're at an hour 40 minutes in. Thank you so much for rocking with us. Honey.
Thank you. I didn't expect it to go that long.
No, it's been it's been a fun stream for today, and we had to get out what we've been holding in for 3 weeks now.
Yeah, I don't even have eyelashes. I was so sick I couldn't even go in and get eyelashes.
Scott, yes, she said she needs to get back to that. And apparently I need a pedicure. So
Yes, he does. It's gross.
nah, I want her to be able to guess when I'm coming around the corner. Is it me or the dogs? We hear that clacking across the floor.
Oh my gosh. Dragon toes. Thirsty dragon toes.
Wow, that's fair. It has to be thirsty dragon toes. So expect us at some point to get a pedicure. So, but anyway, they say I have soft feet anyway. Okay,
They do, because you bake.
I bake. Yes, that is the secret to soft feet, ladies and gentlemen, is baking. Okay, but anyway, guys, honey, do you have anything going on this week with you?
I don't. However, I'm going to be joining Miss Cannoli Sasquatch and hopefully a few others at some point once a month to do a podcast about the woman's perspective. I don't know the official name, but it'll be on the Mr. Cannoli Sasquatch channel.
Yeah.
So
yes. So look out for that. I think I've got a few more streams scheduled for this week. Of course, every Saturday we've got the Heroes No Capes podcast.
Can you put my Twitter in the
yes?
thingy? I
let
didn't
me
mean
go.
to cut you off. Sorry.
No, that's okay, honey. That's see, look at you getting your votes. The what? What'd you call the twits? Okay, you know what? Let me go ahead and put her Twitter in here now. And actually, I should have gone and given you your whatchamacallit, you've got your TikTok too, or her Talk. Let me see if I can go ahead and find your TikTok here.
Oh, the Talk.
Yep, Talk. You actually did pretty good with that one.
I don't know. I don't enjoy that. It really frustrates me.
As soon as you get the whole thing about not putting up music or not having the automatic music come up, you're good, babe. Do this here. Yeah, we'll make sure I can bring it up. Boom. Look at that. All right. Look at that. Your followers and likes. The video that she just put up was when we took our dogs to the dog park, and the fact that now that Wally knows that he can whine and try to get what he wants, he'll do that too. So yeah, guys, those are the wife's socials on there. So click on there. Please give her a follow as well, so she can get into the madness of Twitter and know what it's really like in these streets. That way, when she hears any Twitter gossip, or Twitter beefs, she's actually kept abreast of it.
I probably still won't know what's happening.
I know, honey. It's just, y'all be patient with her as she navigates this. She's gonna go from like not knowing anything to knowing everything and more than me within like 2 months. So be prepared for that to happen. It's like, babe, all you do for cross-platform promotion is, and then I'm gonna be sitting there like I'm dumb. So, Oh, also again, guys, shout out to the Conley Sasquatch merch store. I need to get another one of these. So definitely get whatever you need. They got hoodies, they got joggers. They have these tumblers, cool AirPod cases. They got tumblers, So definitely pick those up as well. But that's pretty much it that we've got, right? Yeah. Thank you guys so much for enjoying us for the another episode of the Ordinary Games podcast. This is Shiro and E.G.O, and we are out.